Yo, Citizen Sleeper? Yo. The Umbrella Academy Season 4. There's 4 seasons? Oh my, I didn't even know that. Bo Burnham isn't real and neither are you. Wait, what is this? Let's react to this, bro.
I want to know when Dippin' Dots is going to condemn child sex.
This is gonna be a long one, pals. I think it really says something about Bo Burnham's Inside that we're still discussing it to such an extensive degree well over a year after its initial release. That's in no small part due to the fact that it's undoubtedly arisen to the level of full-on pop culture phenomenon, but I really think this ever-continuing discussion on the special is largely due to simply how much material is densely packed into the thing that can be critically analyzed and deconstructed and dissected. However, now, with the release of the Inside Outtakes, I feel we've almost unlocked a cipher that'll allow us entry further into the vast array of themes explored and touched on during Inside. However, there's not just a heaping load of thematic meaning to discuss, but parasociality and the irony of the special's explosion in public discourse, and, well, I tell you where I'm going with this, but
that scared the shit out of me, bro.
Social media, it's just the market's answer to a generation that demanded to perform.
Different still, I don't wanna know. Over by now, but I gotta wanna go.
Live your life without an audience. You should do it.
I can't live my life without an audience. Please subscribe.
if you had told me over a year ago when I first watched the special, or even when I made that short, shitty 5-minute video a day after watching the special, that it would reach the popularity it has now, I mean, I'd be flabbergasted. In all honesty, I do feel as though there's validity to the take that the initial special really has been dissected to death in pretty much every conceivable
True.
way. Completely
Very
varying
true.
opinions and interpretations have over time colored in every untouched corner of the work, leaving no stone unturned, as one may say. That is, until the Outtakes special dropped, giving us much more to think on, work with, reflect on. Fleeting thoughts prompted by the original are now notably fleshed out details highlighted in the new special, and material included within the new special also allows us an opportunity to further analyze the themes of Inside through what footage was left in versus what was scrapped. This is one of the prime factors in why I like to call the Inside Outtakes a cipher of sorts to the original Inside special, as it perfectly fits together with that first special as an additional piece to the puzzle, answering more and giving us a bigger picture of what
Mr. Burnham
himself was trying to convey.
Mr. Burnham.
Christ, it's been like half a year since I've made a fucking video. Maybe I should... Yeah, maybe I could, if I dissected it into parts. Oh, maybe that'd make it easier for myself. I mentioned before that the inside outtakes have the potential to work as a cipher for the original special due to the way in which it shows us songs and bits that didn't fit with Bo Burnham's general artistic vision for Inside. I think the immediately obvious difference between the two specials is that the inside outtakes lack the
Did anybody else just see me throw a plate? A ceramic plate? It landed on my bed. Don't worry. There's nothing on the plate either, so.
Bo riffing off of himself, but they're also written in such a way as to mimic legitimate communication between multiple human beings. Two testosterone-fueled dude bros running a podcast.
It's like, yeah, it's like how Vine was back in the day.
An interview with a film's creative team. Even though the dump is still isolated in that it's styled like a sort of Zoom call, its point isn't to directly critique that level of isolation like he does in songs like FaceTime with My Mom Tonight
Mr.
and the
Burnham.
original special. The isolation inherent in these types of video calls is not remotely the intended thesis to take away from this little bit. 5 years can be seen in the same way, as even though Bo is performing both parts in the song, he's joking about simple relationship conflicts and arguments, once again bringing focus to this idea of traditional human connection that he intentionally left out from the original special. It also probably doesn't help that the song was written and performed pre-COVID, and as such doesn't really have much relevance to the actual setting of the special.
5 years, 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. We order Chinese, I'm eating my dumplings. You reach over and you take my dumplings.
But to continue.
I just thought about this. So it was a song about his 5-year anniversary, but he also released it 5 years after quitting comedy and coming back. Interesting to think about. Cause, you know, he sang that song on stage before quitting, but it was relevant again because, you know, 5 years later.
Further, even the focus on in the outtake special does bring focus to other creatures outside of just Bo. Inside is a one-man show to the fucking extreme. Really, the only sequence in which Bo isn't isolated or stuck reflecting on himself is just the certifiably based sequence with Sako, which is just him with a fucking hand. Like, this is the most human interaction we actually really see Bo engage in within Inside, and it's just a scripted conversation and sing-along with a politically charged sock puppet. It's pretty clear that a large goal with Inside's general structure was to portray the infinite echo chamber of madness that this level of isolation ends up producing. A reverberating depiction of being trapped within your own mind creatively. One of the interesting constants in Inside is the repetition of Bo watching himself. Watching
A white woman's Instagram.
As part of the process.
White woman.
Once again,
A white woman's Instagram. White woman. A white woman's Instagram.
Intern reaction bit, which
Am I good at singing? I think I'm pretty good at imitating this guy's voice. I'm not gonna lie. Her favorite photo of her mom. The caption says, I can't believe it. It's been a decade since you've been gone. Anyways. Mama, I miss you. I miss sitting with you in the front yard. Sorry, I need to rewind and actually listen to the video.
There's the unpaid intern reaction bit, which particularly plays this up, but even in sequences like the Twitch stream, Bo is specifically watching his average day of tears, boredom, and music writing.
Yeah.
There's that half-second shot early in the special of him as a Twitch streamer that's often acknowledged as a reference to Fight Club, and while I do think it, of course, is a reference to that film on some level, I also feel it further perpetuates the notion of constantly watching yourself and nothing but yourself for a long period of time. There are so many goddamn shots from Inside of him watching previous songs or bits he's just finished editing, and I feel like as a whole, this is a major through line of the special. I also feel as though that infinite self-regurgitation gets a very fitting visual representation at the end of This Isn't a Joke from the Outtake special. Then again, the camera filming him with a camera filming him with a camera filming him, etc., isn't even limited to just this moment from the Outtake special.
Are you happy with it? I don't wanna know. Too fast, too slow. Don't wanna know. This is terrifying. Or am I all alone?
Mirrored image all the time. Okay, before moving on to some larger concepts we can dig into and really analyze, I'd like to go through some rapid-fire observations and notes about certain songs and segments of the Outtake special, since this will probably be my only opportunity, maybe ever, to do so. The song Biden is hilariously and depressingly relatable, but was probably cut both due to being sort of irrelevant by the time of the May 2021 release date, and due to Bo seemingly not wanting to date the special itself. You'll notice in the special that he doesn't even really ever explicitly speak about COVID at all, or go into any real specifics about the world situation. He does speak about the year 2020 in relation to his age and how he's getting older, but not in any way that really causes the special to get too much less relevant with time, particularly since, while it can be seen through the lens of being a depiction of social quarantining and isolation in 2020, it also works just as well, if not even better, as a depiction of being trapped in your mind creatively.
Exactly, that's why it's called Inside.
The album release also included a couple new tracks that didn't really appear in either special, though they did at least both have very brief mentions in the Outtake special.
Microwave popcorn. This is from a song people really got to survive. Some people are white guys in 1980. White guy. 1985.
1985 very much feels like
I kinda
a
love that
happy
song.
era Bo, which does make sense given that it was one of the songs, along with 5 Years and The Chicken, that he was performing at the Largo while workshopping material for that potential new comedy special and tour that he mentions in All Eyes on Me.
You know what? I should start performing again.
Microwave Popcorn is just funny. That's mostly it. Okay, pulling back to the actual
True.
special as a whole, I find it interesting how much bolder the special is with tone when compared to Inside, which is obviously much more carefully and intricately crafted from a tonal standpoint. Of course, the more experimental style of tone in the Outtake special is just because it's put together from Inside's leftover footage, but I do feel like it's fascinating just because it gives us glimpses of alternate ways that Inside could have been presented. For example, there are a surprising amount of pretty creepy or horrifying moments in the Outtake special, which, if made a primary focus, could have completely changed the vibe of Inside to adhere to a scarier direction. The special seemed to very much find itself in the editing
I feel like on the Inside special, he wanted to make it unsettling, but not terrifying. So he was thinking about, like, adding the weird, creepy looking shit to it, but then was like, I just want to make it naturally unsettling. Like, you're on edge about something, but you can't put your finger on what it is the whole time.
Which also seemed to be a big reason why the special ended up taking so long to produce in the back half of its production cycle.
And then I'll edit it and I'll watch it, and then I'll feel like I'm not done. I have to do something else.
Most interestingly, though, the outtake special specifically includes shots that either expound upon or downright contradict points or themes from the original special. My favorite shot of this nature from the outtake special would most definitely be this one. I had a conversation with a friend a while back in which they argued against
I love this
both
song.
of the internet's thesis, as it came off to them as just old man yells at cloud, or these darn kids and their technology, or oh God, please no, God no, change, no, God no, please not change, no, not change, please God no, please no, which, I mean, isn't wrong, but I also think that the point being made by the song has a heaping load of validity and, you know, shouldn't be tossed aside quite so easily.
Exactly.
Sure, one could argue that the fact that phones are now essentially an extension
I
of the
love
human
that
body
song
is
so
just
much.
another step of human evolution, catapulting us through eras of progress, but also, I think one of the biggest takeaways of the song is really from the line,
And it did all the things we designed it to do.
as it brings emphasis upon the fact that these corporations and billionaires and algorithms are basically just taking advantage of our chemical processes, not to really benefit our lives in the way that human evolution ideally should do, but really to benefit the companies who, unsurprisingly, actually gain a lot from having 1.1 billion users on their app that feeds everyone an infinite stream of content
Yep.
present in the
Yep.
for as long as possible by bringing about a dysfunctional dopamine system.
They are now trying to colonize every minute of your life. That is what these people are trying to do. Every single free moment you have is a moment you could be looking at your phone and they could be gathering information to target ads at you. That's what's happening. So like as much as we can, you know, as have really good conversations and try to humanize the conversations, the like mechanism of the business is rolling towards that just because of the market. So like it's coming. It's coming for every free second you have.
Yes, to quantify how likable you are, how attractive you are, how accepted you are, how
Watchable.
you are. And kids used to be able to escape this. You can't escape your social life. It's following you everywhere, all of the time.
Could I interest you in everything? So
All
if
of the
you have a
time.
Dissociative mental disorder in your late 20s, don't come crawling back to
I'm speaking about this because I believe it's important to emphasize the nuance in this general discussion, a point I believe Bo similarly was making, at least to some degree, with the inclusion of this shot in the inside outtakes. As he's filming this song, shitting on the exploitative and radicalizing nature of the internet, he gets distracted and forgets to stop filming as he grows consumed with his own rectangular internet-connected device for a good chunk of time. Now, this very well may have still been staged,
art is a lie, nothing is
Real.
or it could have genuinely been a behind-the-scenes moment, but the artistic intent of its inclusion doesn't really change one way or another, as this is directly calling out a bit of his own hypocrisy here when he's writing this song. Things aren't black and white, and especially given that Bo himself is entirely successful specifically because of the internet, he of course isn't saying something as bold as, nah, just like remove the internet and all technology, for real, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Impossible.
But it's not like it's just shitty. It's not like we should just if we threw our phones in the ocean and we'd be happy. It's like it's both. We're super connected. We're super lonely. We're super stimulated. We're super numb. We're self-expressing and objectifying. It's like I wouldn't be here without the internet. You know what I mean? Like obviously I'm so grateful for it.
Calling attention to some of the weird and disturbing ways our culture is covered up for these capitalistic minings of our neurochemistry is just that. Calling attention.
Yes.
Now, with that said, I do find a hefty load of irony in the fact that the special ended up fucking dominating the internet for
True.
months after
Very,
its
very
release,
true.
Still holding insane weight even now. It's just absurdly hilarious that his special featuring the most criticism about the internet and algorithmic exploitation is the special that found the most success and virality on the internet, and particularly on the platform TikTok, which is literally just all of these problems maxed out to 1,000. It's quite literally a singular algorithm. It's the height of everything leading up to now. It's inescapable. And of all the platforms to really blow up inside to the moon, it's, of course, had to be the one. Once again, fucking
Ironic.
There's originally gonna be a filmed bit here where I
Fucking ironic.
hop on to TikTok and look at the Bo Burnham tag and explore and research this for the very first time for this video. But I'm not doing that because I actually did all that research about 5 or 6 months ago, because this video's production is long time. But yeah, I just decided, why lie to you? Why pretend like I'm looking at this for the first time when I really have? Yeah, I've seen it so long ago at this point. I feel like pretending to look at it for the first time now and doing a whole bit about it would be redundant, so I'm sparing you. You're welcome. Anyway, that's the
Thanks.
end of this bit. So I want to once again place emphasis on TikTok's status as the next evolution of internet technology or video browsing apps. Half of these videos, if not more, are just clips from Bo Burnham's specials and live shows, almost all of which have circulated on YouTube as well for a long time, with most of them probably actually originating there in the first place. Wouldn't it be great to be able to scratch a certain itch in your brain at every possible moment? You really like seeing versions of this song or bit, so how about we show you every single repost of the song to ever be released? YouTube originated this issue with creating clip culture. Vine amplified it, and TikTok perfected it. This isn't to say that wanting to
Exactly.
is an issue or anything either. However, there definitely does come a point when these clips are practically being weaponized as a means to literally extract the maximum amount of happy chemicals from us with their incessant usage. Even though I think YouTube has a huge problem with it as well, at least YouTube gives you a choice most of the time. You can
You know, I fell into this rabbit hole back when I was like extremely obsessed with this dude. And I was going through all of his songs, going through everything available about him on the internet and shit. But now, when I feel like listening to Bo Burnham, I'm gonna either watch his specials, which there are 3 of on Netflix, or I'm gonna go listen to the songs on the album. I can't even go on social media to look shit up about him because I will fall down a rabbit hole that I will not escape for 3 hours. I am not kidding. This has happened many times. I have to watch the shows or I have to listen to the songs. That's it. I can't do any more. I will become obsessed again.
click a clip that may or may not tickle your fancy. TikTok just thrusts you into it and we begin judging content solely by its first second or two. Perhaps that's a reason Bo Burnham has suddenly soared in popularity on the app. A large amount of his
The only thing I watched that's not from one of his shows or from his songs just in general is The Art Is Dead, where he performs it at the I think it's called the Green Room or something like that. It was like a bunch of famous comedians, and basically they don't realize that he's like criticizing them the whole time he's singing the song. Like the song goes completely above their heads, and I don't think they understood the message at all. But people who actually know Bo and know the state of comedy, they understood what he was saying the whole time.
of him performing songs, either studio recorded or live, and, well, music hooks you in. Now let's try to hone this discussion back in on Bo Burnham's presence on the app specifically, rather than talking further about the app as a whole. Bo Burnham, at least to my knowledge, isn't actually on TikTok, but I honestly feel that at the current moment in time, he's got more presence there than anywhere else, YouTube included.
That funny feeling
is made even curiouser when you start seeing Netflix posting their own clips of Bo Burnham, edited to make it seem like it fits with this platform and its general visual aesthetics. But the number one thing I noticed upon spending an hour or so on Bo Burnham TikTok was that so much of this content is just a translation of content from other mediums. Also, really quickly before expanding on this thought, I'd like to add a little disclaimer to say that I hold no ill will towards any of the TikTokers shown or referenced in this video, even if I am criticizing a specific 15-second clip or so of their content. This is more so regarding the overall culture of the app and not the individual creators.
I'm on Twitter the other day, and I see Bo Burnham tweet this. New merch for Inside available now on his store. Ooh, I think to myself, Inside merch. That's exciting. I go check out the list, and there's some decent stuff on there. Couple shirts, couple hoodies, solid fits, cool pattern.
If you couldn't just look through a merch store on your own, here you go. The experience of looking at a merch store in video format.
Check this out.
Thank you. Thank you for your support. You are why we do it.
Not even an actual clip, just someone filming their screen as they react to seeing this bit from the Outtakes special. This actually makes up a weird amount of the platform.
Some people are white guys in
1985.
Now, I actually find this one funny, but I wonder why it did such numbers. Is it because the algorithm naturally pushed two coinciding pop culture phenomenons at once? And creations on TikTok are purely decided by market trends and not artistic intent? Yes. I'll reiterate once more that I probably normally wouldn't care enough to be like, not a huge TikTok guy, not gonna lie. But in this particular instance, I just can't help but find it absolutely fascinating that this special is the one that did so well on this platform. I guess it just goes to show how clippable Bo's work is. As long as it can fit in bite-sized content, it can be added to the ever-expanding mass of audio-visual content here. It's, wait for it,
anything and everything.
All of the time.
even this song itself has been covered and parodied and repeated so many times. It's actually insane. This song is so much larger now. It encompasses so much more now. It's not even a song. It's been upgraded to a goddamn market trend. A culture wave? A statistic? Was it inevitable?
Have a look around. For almost every function, DYDX can be found. We've got mountains of rules, some easy, some cursed. If derivatives are hard for you, well, you aren't the first.
Welcome to the patriarchy, there's too much to say. Medicine was all designed for men, but women aren't the same. Be youthful, be pretty, and don't show your skin. But they'll blame your looks if you're successful in anything.
Welcome to the rabbit hole, this is not your life. Say goodbye to your girlfriend or boyfriend, husband or your wife. There's no need to panic, you're in for a ride. Before you know, you'll have the time of your life.
Welcome to Smash Brothers. You wouldn't believe how many people want Mario to beat up Minecraft Steve.
Bro, I forgot the fact that I actually looked up all of these parodies at one point, and I watched every single one of them. I'm not gonna lie.
Welcome to the hospital. Keep this man alive. He is on a ventilator, every presser to survive.
Timelines and layers and UV test grids, and none of all the features that you've all requested.
Welcome to anime. Put your kid aside. Here's a character you love, and here's one you just wish would die.
Phantom sense is strong there, he's touching you more. Don't act surprised, you know you like it, you whore.
Here's a meditation lecture, mandatory course. Get accosted by a family, be mistaken for a nurse. The folk of your mid-20s living here to serve for fractions of the salary you actually
Deserve. True.
All of the time. No, I want to stop the gender norms. Now is the time. Society is anarchy and we are so behind. I'm finished playing and I'm ready to fight.
Inside, as it is, has grown to such massive proportions that it's probably actually fucking impossible at this point for me to collect even close to everything there is about it, even just on YouTube.
This
sense that all of this is going to burst at any moment. It just has to. It can't sustain like this. Not with this much speed, not with this much force. And the fear of what will happen when it ends, when it hits the brick wall.
I am genuinely very happy with my level of recognition, which is very minimal, and would not want any more of it. Like, I don't want to be any more known than I am.
And the other fear, the deeper fear, the unspeakable fear of never hitting the wall, of this feeling never ending, never slowing down, but rising forever, endless and pointless climb towards a terrible and dense nothing.
Animations, parodies, covers, edits, discussions, analyses. See it right now. It's all everywhere. It is everything. The internet takes something and transforms it into every form you can think of. There's so many cool edits and animations too, but the sheer number is truly staggering. One of these animations actually caught my eye, and I believe it to be oddly relevant to the next topic I'd like to discuss.
Do I have your attention?
Yes or no?
The reason I'm drawing attention to this video in particular is because of the odd fan/performer dynamic being portrayed here. I genuinely really like the actual animation and art themselves, but the story and picture being painted here just seem off to me. This desperate rush to get through to the performer, the artist that you look up to. This one-sided plea on two sides, one being performance and the other being an emotionally charged reaction. This is the exact animation clip that really got me to start heavily thinking about
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. What she had to. Okay, enough of this shit. Should I audition for American Idol?
We think you've changed, bro. We know,
Bess, you suck.
We think we
know you. We think we know you.
Alright,
We
let's
think we
talk
know
artist,
you.
audience,
Parasocialism. Bro was talking about parasocialism before it was cool.
dynamics. Everyone's favorite topic. Art is, of course, an inherently
He was talking about it 5 years before it was a thing that people thought about.
crucial as the actual initial intentions of the artist when creating said work. However, despite the artist-audience relationship being absolutely necessary, it can also very easily and quickly transform into something less necessary. And by less necessary, I mean fully parasocial, so, not necessary.
Oh, I love that was the clip. I know it because, you know, I was way too obsessed with this at one point. That was the clip where someone yells, "I love you," and he says, "No, you fucking don't. You don't know me, I don't know you." See, like parasocialism. I think that was another special before the one where We Think We Know You was released. So he was talking about it even longer before everybody else.
Juicy starting point, and there's a lot of things to discuss here. So let's first begin with a talk on hyper-analysis, semi-stalkery shit, and whether or not any of this is actually that weird given the public nature of most of it. Bo Burnham was one of the first ever internet stars, if you will, and because of that, it's not really a surprise that his following has been very amplified, as all things
Yeah.
It's not really a case of doxing so much as it is just super following everything he does when he's not inside. Every time he's out in public, every show he performs at the Largo, his reactions within an audience. It's all up on the internet for all of us to see, sort through, and know. Now, I think it's also very important to mention my own role in engaging with much of this as well. As having followed Bo Burnham since around or before Make Happy, I've consumed so many goddamn clips and information, all this shit, that I'd say I'm probably just as guilty of following him to an excessive degree at times. Now, with all this being said, pretty much the entirety of this stuff is public. The Largo shows, for example, while at an exclusive private venue, generally unannounced and not allowing recordings, are still shows where he's performing new material. So keeping tabs on all the songs or bits he's workshopping isn't all that weird, especially in a bubble. However, I just think that when we look at all these different internet archives together, it paints a very full picture that's worth digging into. With all of the raw data and pictures and videos and information we have at our disposal and regarding this public figure, it's very easy to form a parasocial kind of relationship. I think
Yeah.
Rose pretty much always had this very complicated and not necessarily great relationship with his audience.
A part of me loves
You. Pardon me. This song is so fucking good. My favorite Bo Burnham song ever. Holy shit.
Part of me
Me too. Part of me fears you.
I mean, for years,
I don't think
and
I can
years of his
handle
career,
this
even
right
extending into Make Happy, he notoriously had constant hecklers, being fueled by the dozens of viral videos of Bo's responses to heckling at all of his shows. Bo himself even spoke on the matter in a Reddit AMA, essentially saying that his hecklers aren't even doing it out of ill will most of the time, in fact, just thinking that they're contributing to the show. These hecklers were, of course, still a pretty tiny portion of the audience, but I do think give further credence to the idea that Bo Burnham's audience is prone to take things too far and get a little parasocial.
No, you fucking don't. You do not. Stop participating.
Most recently, there was another event in which I was made a bit uncomfortable by some of the public discourse I was seeing in various Bo Burnham related subcommunities. That's right, the Emmys.
Okay, look at this man in a ski cap. Hold on, just a second. There's Lorene right there, right? Okay, wait, hold on. Watch her come through. That's her, I'm assuming. Hold on, just a second. Hold, please. Hold, please. Okay, there's Ski Mask Guy again. Okay, wait. Okay, wait.
People are so. People take this shit to the extreme sometimes, I swear.
That's her, right? That's Lorene.
The amount of people over-analyzing the backgrounds of shots to follow the trail of Bo Burnham as he actively hides his face was, you know, pretty weird. Not that him wearing a ski mask to the Emmys wasn't also very weird, but it's not like any major news or trade publications were even taking note of him at all in the event. Bo fans just figured this all out on their own, which is interesting. At a certain point, this has gotta be kind of excessive, right? Right? So what's the point of talking about parasocial relationships in this video about the two Inside specials? Well, I think with both specials, there's value to be gained from looking at the works both with a parasocial lens and without one. There's a certain type of comment I've seen more and more ever since Inside came out that I think may relate to the fact that for the first time in Inside, Bo actually talked about his panic attacks directly within a special rather than just in interviews. You'll see an old clip of him from a live show where he gets mildly agitated or has to deal with a heckler, and these are the comments that you'll find everywhere underneath. It's basically people either wondering if this is a clip of him having a panic attack or quoting lines about panic attacks from Inside so as to assert that this clip is showing one. Also, note the common phrase you'll see in these. After watching Inside, because again, Inside was the first time he talked about these panic attacks in a special rather than just an interview. Say it with me, kids. Perception. Perception depends on who you are. Subjective. It's really not that hard. A lot of people seem to have taken Inside as a documentary above all else, and I think that's what's led to such a large influx of comments overanalyzing all of these subtle mannerisms in his old clips to fit them within the narrative that he's having a panic attack in them, regardless of how most of the time it doesn't actually line up with specific instances or dates he's mentioned in interviews or anything. However, when you believe that you understand someone, regardless of whether or not you actually even know them, you may very well begin to interpret everything they've done or everything they do through the lens of your own subjective perception of them. I think it's important for us to maintain awareness of the boundaries between artist, art, and audience, and to ensure that our engaging with art doesn't falsely create a belief that we're actually familiar with the artist or performer. This is a constructed piece of filmmaking. This is not a documentary. If it were, he wouldn't have struggled so much with
waiting for some big idea that's going to tie it all together and make sense of it and satisfy me. I keep thinking that I'm done. I'll write an ending and I'll film an ending. And then I'll edit it and I'll watch it, and then I'll feel like I'm not done. I have to do something.
Here comes the
Even the
content.
inside outtakes are entirely authentic.
It's a beautiful
disservice to the
day
amount of
to
effort and
stay
meticulous crafting put into them.
inside.
How does he do it? How does he pretend to do it? How does he remain contrived? I'm not honest for a second up here. It's all an illusion. I'm wearing makeup.
I'm wearing makeup.
Inside definitely channels a lot of very real feelings and emotions, without a doubt. Bo discusses his panic attacks in this medium for the first time in multiple different ways, and goes on to put many other elements of himself into the work, whether dissociative or depressive. However, this is a very concisely crafted special that has very specific goals in how it's received. Throughout all of 2020 and 2021, Bo Burnham simply didn't actually spend all of his time in that shed. There's a girlfriend and a dog in his main house that are entirely cut from the picture and aren't referenced once, and that's for a reason. They don't fit into the story being crafted here, and this isn't about showing an honest portrayal of his actual day-to-day life. Even in the outtake special, everything is still limited to this room because that's what this special is limited to. This is not a depiction of his life. This is a depiction of him working on this project within this room and getting stuck in his head creatively. Assuming that this is wholly representative of him as a person is one of those things that just feels, a little parasocial. I feel like a lot of people do understand this, but I do still think it's worth bringing up for those who still haven't yet made that distinction. However, once again, it's important to acknowledge that there are still very clearly elements within the special that do seem to be rather authentic. Genuine. As such, this leads us into a very important discussion.
He's right.
So I think the song Sexting is like kind of mid. Like
that song, I mean, it was funny like the first 1 or 2 times. But I feel like what was the point? Like, I get it, it's supposed to be a comedy show, but like, I really came to this because it was supposed to be a deep commentary on life and shit. And then he made this song and I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. At least White Woman's Instagram had like a through line in the middle of the song that you realize how as the song goes. Or Call My Mom had like a through line.
It's funny, but it's not like that funny. I feel like it's like the only one that I gain no glee in re-listening. The initial Inside special already does seem to cover an overwhelming feeling of dissociation and derealization overtaking your perception of reality with the song That Funny Feeling, but the outtake special expands on it further with what's probably my favorite of the new songs, The Future. I'll concede that the music video in particular is what really drives home this very dissociative feeling of the song, but the song's lyrics themselves do feel rather dissociative, even if not quite specifically describing the actual feeling of being dissociated, which, won't lie, isn't great. Living in the future, and your present is so awful that you're hitting that old escapism button in order to leap forward and try vicariously living this imaginative life where things are better and you have actual people or jobs or assets grounding you to reality. The lyrics carry with them the sense of indifference to the subject's currently dwindling life situation, so perhaps a sense of apathy would be more apt as a descriptor than dissociation. Really, if anything, it's just the general situation itself putting a thin veil of separation between us and the world. Derealization, then? I'll bother figuring out the right term when I bother getting dressed. It's just another day living with this video finally edited and published, and I'm living in the future.
I'm living
in the future. Uh-huh.
There's a very distinct difference between Bo's performances in songs like this, Funny Feeling, and All Eyes on Me versus a lot of the other songs, especially earlier in the special. It's the difference between being mentally present and being, well, absent. Not at all there, lacking the energy or will to make goofy faces. Ultimately, I wouldn't say that the future is as much about dissociation as that Funny Feeling. However, as a whole, I feel like it gives off a much more dissociative vibe in regard to Bo's performance, the way it's shot, and the actual tune itself. However, Bo's performance in That Funny Feeling is also rather interesting when we're talking about dissociation. While it's not as outwardly clear that the song's subject isn't mentally present, the very calm, campfire-esque tune to which the song is sung really does drive home that dissociative state, with the strongest reaction to all of this at this point just being
feeling.
We're seeing the culture derived from a postmodern capitalist society being viewed through the lens of someone who sees and experiences the world through a filter of dissociation. And that's why the biggest conclusion to be drawn at the end is
over soon, even when.
the song isn't necessarily trying to get you to agree with its acceptance of the end, but it's more so trying to paint a picture of this specific perception of this already inherently distorted culture, with the calls to action being much more on the subtle side here, with lines like
20,000 years of this, 7 more to go.
Which specifically references the global timer set by the UN, telling us how much time is left before the damage done to the environment and ecosystem is irreversible and has permanently put the end of the Earth's lifespan in closer view, still giving us the information to be like, oh, maybe we should especially get on that now that only 6 years remain?
Oh. I didn't know what that was referring to this whole time. I've always had that question of, what does he mean 7 more? 7 more years. What? What do you mean 7? Are we all gonna die? We're all gonna die in 7 years? Like, I didn't know what it meant.
He also does have a somewhat dissociative feel to it, although this one is particularly emphasized to be odd or feeling off through the actual audio distortion and misplaced laugh tracks that produce an all-around clear feeling of things not being quite right. The result of being in your own head for this long. You're basically out of your head. I also think it's interesting to note that both in All Eyes on Me and Can't Handle This, as we're seeing Bo in both specials finally expressing some of his truly genuine emotions and feelings, his voice is modulated and modified so as to still retain a sort of boundary. I often like to call Inside a representation of being stuck inside your own head creatively. In fact, I've called it that multiple times throughout this nonsensical video alone. But I think at a certain point, that word, creatively, stops being as relevant to the phrase and it just becomes stuck inside your own head. And being stuck inside your own head certainly does cause issues, whether that be anxiety, panic, stress, depression, or the topic at hand, dissociation. I think a big reason why the elements of dissociation and that striking line and that funny feeling
Total disassociation.
Fully out your mind.
Googling derealization. Hating what you find.
resonated with me so much is because, unsurprisingly, those were feelings I could relate to. Big twist there, I know. But yeah, I mean, I've struggled a lot with kind of heavy dissociation over the last couple of years. And while it used to happen almost exclusively following a panic attack or something like that, nowadays it's certainly, more frequent. All this to say, the way in which songs like The Future are able to capture that feeling is truly incredible to me. It's just such a hard vibe for me to really communicate or explain. But I feel like this song really does do a terrific job of getting that feeling across. Not that funny feeling, but a less humorous, more confused, more dissociative feeling. And so I really appreciate it for that. These themes of dissociation may not be consistently prevalent in the two specials, but they do most definitely impact the special as a whole in a larger way, even if not overtly. Once you've become dissociated from the world and society around you, the things that are in your immediate vicinity are the things that define you, who you are. Everything becomes your special, and it doesn't take long before you begin.
I'll find a way. Man, I gotta find a way. But if I don't, who gives a shit? It's all over anyway. I regret every single joke that I've told. I was young, but lately being young's getting old.
Feeling nervous, I'm not feeling fine.
You wanna be happy? Well, get in line.
I've lost. Green Goblin Bo is a husk of himself. After you've put so much of yourself into your work, what's left? Who's the person that remains? How long will this keep going?
Throughout the specials, there's constantly this ever-present focus on the ending. Whether it's ever going to end, whether it has to end, whether it can't end.
Is how it ends.
I see a lot of people attribute much of the displayed struggles of ending the special to Bo's feeling trapped in this room, in the quarantine, at home, which I can understand, particularly since he elaborates on his difficulty of writing an ending in the outtakes.
The thing that I'm writing about is an ending, so it's hard to end whatever this is. I feel like I'm waiting for some big idea that's gonna tie it all together and make sense of it and satisfy me.
However, I think in general discussion on the special, there's too much emphasis on Bo's hatred of being inside. While one element I feel is too often overlooked is that he also likes being inside. He doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay in this creative space without having to put this special out into the world.
Recently, I've been feeling like, oh man, maybe I am getting close to done with this. Maybe I'm gonna finish it after all. And that has made me completely freak out, because if I finish this special, that means that I have to not work on it anymore, and that means I have to just live my life. And so I'm not gonna do that, and I'm gonna not finish the special. I'm gonna work on it forever, I think.
This seems to be a big element in the ending of the original special as well, with Bo finally putting the special out there, meaning he's no longer safe within the confines and comfort of this room that he's been relying on. I think it's important to clarify here that as I'm referring to Bo in this section, I'm referring to the version we see of Bo here, not actually the man himself. While I do assume there to be a lot of crossover between his genuine feelings and the feelings we see depicted on screen, I can only comment on the themes explored through this fictionalized version of Bo. Anyway, there's most definitely a heavy emphasis on this increasing reliance on the safety of isolation.
Real-world, human-to-human tactile contact will kill you, and that all human interaction should be contained in a much more safe, much more real, interior digital space. One should only engage with the outside world as one engages with the coal mine. Suit up, gather what is needed, and return to the surface.
I promise to never go
outside again.
Much of this seems to be serving that metaphor for being stuck in your head creatively, which seems to be particularly clear in that clip of him committing to work on the special infinitely, as no longer working on the special is a much scarier reality than simply never finishing it. I feel Inside rides this line between showing an increasing hatred and irritation for this isolation and an increasing dependence and need for this isolation.
A part of me loves you.
Part of me hates you. A part of me needs you. Part of me fears you.
Yet, as much as he desires to keep spinning his creative wheels for eternity, the special has to go out. The special does go out. And you can't go back. You're outside forever. The thing is, this desire explored throughout the special to stay inside, to keep working, to never release this project.
Yeah.
It's also aiding in a process in which the artist and the work begin meshing together. This particularly becomes an issue with a project specifically like this, in which you're performing as yourself, yet still writing in threads and story beats to follow. As yourself, choosing which clips to put in of yourself to tell a specific story that may not be yourself. If
I invest my well-being in that, I'm at the mercy of the thing going well and other people. And that is just like, it's not that because I have integrity, I'm literally like trying to protect my life.
Is the role of an artist a sacrificial lamb, putting their understanding of self at risk in order to use their established identity as a form of entertainment for others? Is workshopping this type of project in essence workshopping yourself? Are you
interesting?
Are you
watchable?
Who are you?
I am none of those things. Just kidding.
Who will you be? It's almost like this struggle throughout the special is mimicking the wave of social media in which
The market said here, perform everything to each other
All the time.
for no reason.
now this desire to perform is instilled upon us from birth. This is the standard. This is the way to find yourself, discover yourself. When you're naturally searching for the truths of your identity as you're growing up, who you are, who you should be, this becomes the natural solution to that. Practically a necessity, placing all your value in this externally portrayed version of yourself. Not even the version of yourself you show to others in regular interaction, but a version of yourself captured in a bottle, in a moment of pure performance. It becomes this infinite loop of creating content with the version of yourself you're trying to present to others, watching that version of yourself, becoming more of that person, and repeating and repeating and repeating. It's an echo chamber of yourself being broadcast to everyone.
It's prison. It's horrific. It is performer and audience melded together.
All eyes are on you, yet you're the only one there, infinitely going through the same cycle, becoming content. Allowing your humanity to strip away as you become that husk. Where does the artist end and the content begin? This is the kind of process where the person who comes out may not be quite the same as the one who came in, where you can only pray that you make it to... Perhaps
to see the other side, so you can do like you do, or you can do like me. No, that's the wrong show. Sorry. Sorry.
He says the thing that I'm writing about is an ending.
This cycle isn't limited to just his own experience writing this special, isn't just limited to the circumstances of the pandemic and quarantine, but that larger cycle, that larger trend, that trend of performing.
It's about performing. I try to make my show about other things, but it always ends up becoming about performing.
So again, I bring emphasis to that clip where Bo expresses the difficulty of writing an ending. How do you write a resolution to a problem that you genuinely can't solve? Well, there's certainly one way. You don't. Not to imply that this ending doesn't resolve the special, because obviously it does, but it's not proposing a solution here. Bo already did that in Make Happy, and to reapproach it in the same way would be purposeless. This time we're not just watching or listening to someone perform, we're following someone's story. We're following this character who's facing these issues directly, and this character ultimately finds themselves faced between two undesirable realities. And once they finally make a choice between them, it's too late to go back. In Make Happy, Bo's discussion on the desire everyone feels to perform today in the modern world all culminates towards a single piece of advice.
If you can live your life without an audience, you should do it.
The question then becomes, is that something accomplishable? The iPhone 14 Pro has 4 cameras on it alone. Everywhere we look, there's no escaping the suffocation of... Hey, wait a minute. This fella sure looks familiar.
Just a theory.
Okay, I'm treading the line of getting too speculative.
A film theory.
Bo Burnham's work, to me, has for a long time had a very empathetic touch to it, something I've noticed has only increased with time and with each new special. I'd honestly say that very little of his material in the specials presently available on Netflix come off to me as mean-spirited, at least when discussing people, humans. Even stuff like Repeat Stuff wasn't really critiquing the individual artists referenced in it, like Justin Bieber, as much as it was criticizing the companies and systems that actually led to that awful cycle in the first place. Inside, I think, is so filled to the brim with, well, not optimism that I think the empathetic side to it can sometimes be a little hard to wholly discern. Which is why I found it interesting that the finale song of the outtake special was The Chicken. Is it sort of dark when you read into the lyrics and think on it? Yeah, no, for sure. But I think the thing that stands out about the song is genuinely just the premise itself. It's like Bo Burnham took the "why did the chicken cross the road" joke and was like, okay, now make the chicken empathetic. Or I suppose alternatively, it interprets the question of why did the chicken cross the road entirely differently. What really motivated them to cross that road? Why? There are so many different interpretations and takeaways I've seen of this song, and I think that's something really special about the song. I love how it really lets you sit with it, think on it, and determine how you feel about it and what you think.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I watched the outtake special like twice, so I don't really remember a lot of it.
Going back to the placement of this song in the special, I think ending the outtakes and presumably the Inside saga as a whole with this song carries meaning with it, at least to some degree. The song wasn't written specifically for Inside, but I think that's exactly why it actually works here. Most of these two specials are focused on the effects of these larger exploitative systems and cycles on one's self. However, with the chicken added here to cap everything off, we're getting almost a reminder of why caring for others is just as important. Empathize and understand the struggles of others. Don't allow them to go through this alone. Don't allow them to get trapped in a home situation that leaves them eternally isolated. This isolation can still be overcome by just reaching out. Everyone is going through their own shit, even that person you meet on your daily commute who's just crossing the road. We may not as individual people be able to truly dismantle these larger systems taking advantage of our neurochemistry for profit, but what we can do is be kind to one another, form human connection. Why are these specials special? Because it speaks to the viewer and, while indirectly, says, I understand. People each have responded to the specials in different ways, but that's because these specials ultimately find themselves multi-layered. There's this sense of physical isolation connected to the pandemic and quarantine. There's this sense of creative isolation and finding yourself trapped in a project that you're afraid to escape or complete. And there's this overwhelming sense of isolation in the commodification of human connection and reduction of the human experience to a view or like counter, with genuine intimacy and connection more and more frequently finding itself uprooted by this need we feel to perform. Performing. Looking back on your life as a satisfied audience member. Simply an illusion.
You're everything you
You did. Aren't you happy?
Simply an illusion. Simply an illusion. Simply an illusion. Simply an illusion.
Is there anyone out there? Or am I all alone? It wouldn't make a difference, still I don't wanna. God damn it.
Don't subscribe, I'm part of the problem. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of this YouTube video. I will be right back. Chat. It wouldn't make a difference still, I don't wanna know. I thought it'd be over by now, but I got a while to go. Alright. We're back up and running. I wanted to watch this video, calling out Fume. If you don't know what that is, it's a, YouTube sponsorship. It's like breathing air. Like for when people say don't breathe vape, breathe air. It's a device made specifically to breathe fucking air. So I don't think we need to watch a video on why this could be a pointless product, but let's watch the video on why this is a pointless product. And no, I am not biased because I vape. No, I am definitely not biased.
Hello and welcome back to Just Another Page Launcher, where we give an honest and humorous review of popular sponsorships and platforms. Today we're going to look at the extensive These videos are not sponsored, so it would mean a lot if you consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. Fume is a Canadian company that was started in 2018. The best way to describe what Fume is that
Wait, did it come out that long ago? I feel like I've only seen people be sponsored by them for like maybe 2 years at the most.
It's an inhaler designed to use these flavor cores, which add flavor while inhaling air for the fume. It's designed and marketed as a replacement towards addictive smoking and nicotine products like vapes and cigarettes. Addiction is a legitimately serious issue. It's a terrible disease that destroys the well-being for millions of people. And in the case of nicotine addiction, can lead to serious medical diseases.
Being addicted to nicotine sucks. Please never do it. I will never advocate for someone vaping for the first time or smoking for the first time. That being said, I just simply can't get enough of it, which is, you know, a problem. You know, I'm going to work on it at some point, and I have tried before. I will try harder eventually.
So it makes sense to try and capitalize on that by spending millions of dollars on advertising on every major social media, with commentary and drama channels in particular being some of the biggest sellers for Fume, which has made them become a pretty perfect contender for the series. Now, Fume isn't the only essential oil device in the market.
No, it's not.
Here and Monk also do the same concept, giving the experience
And Ripple.
taste of essential oils.
I think that's what it's called.
Fume prides itself on how much it does not use technology, any mechanical parts, or even vapor for that matter. Just a simple wood and a metal inhaler. Now, I'm a child of suburban Generation X parents, so of course I grew up with essential oils. Specifically, the brand doTERRA. Now, there's a whole debate about the legitimacy of essential oils as a product in general, which I won't go into too much for this video, but I will say for at least the doTERRA, they are very expensive, and some of their selling practices
What the hell?
pyramid scheme. But I won't lie, they actually have some really good products, and I will say
$80 for that little thing? 15 milliliters? Oh my gosh.
But I won't lie, they actually have some really good products, and I will say they definitely smell nice. So essential oils is definitely an area I am very familiar with. But as for smoking and vaping, yeah, I have no experience with that. Haven't smoked anything tobacco, nicotine, or any illegal substance before. So I'm not really the target audience. But Fume is such an interesting and notable sponsorship. It's a very bold move to sell something that's marketed as a good habit. And they do also sell themselves as just a plain anxiety reliever. So it would feel like a missed opportunity if I did not cover Fume on the series. So let's get addicted.
You know the worst thing is? They try to make Fume like a thing that everybody who's addicted to nicotine should be using. But they make it cost like 5 or 6 disposable vapes worth of money put together. Like, literally, why? Why would you do that? Why is it so expensive? Because I was going to buy it a long time ago. But it's so damn expensive. I can't.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Just light already. Why isn't this working? Why aren't you lighting? I filled you up last night. Just light already. Come on. Said we're done. Why don't you work? Work. Work, please. Yes! Yes! Come on! I brought the wrong bag!
Talk about overdramatic.
Hello, officer. What seems to be the problem? I don't know what was worse. The single cigarette I barely smoked, or the police brutality. But I think I have enough lung damage to be able to fairly review fume. Anyway, the original fume model was originally made out of an olive oil wood texture, but they revamped the design around 2022 with the Piranha model, having a maple wooden barrel with a stainless steel mouthpiece, then adding an additional model with the Solano variant, which is made out of a higher quality walnut and featuring an onyx black mouthpiece. Now, as for the packaging for these two models, since the Solano model was released later, they were able to update the packaging with a thinner box that has a slightly holographic finish to it, making it overall more appealing. But I kind of like the message on the back of the Piranha model box, which is written by the company's own CEO. The world's first diffusive device. Are you sure about that? Inside the box, you get the fume itself, a cleaning kit, and this 30-day journey card. The fume is a bit smaller than I was expecting, being around 4 1/8 inches, or about 10.5 centimeters. I personally like the mouthpiece on the Solano models more, but I think the overall look of the mouthpiece on the Piranha model is a lot more interesting with the shiny stainless steel. But both these barrels are not that great. The barrel on the Piranha model is really easy to get dirty, and the wood is just not the highest quality thing to feel. It's a bit too easy to get dents into it, as well as some debris over time. And I know it's maple wood, which is not the highest quality wood, but even the Solano model isn't the best thing either. In person, there's a weird haze that's covering it that makes it look printed on. It might be hard to show on camera, but it kind of makes it look fake, and I think there should be at least a better way to clean it. The cloth of the cleaning kit only really works for the mouthpiece, and these pipe cleaners are terrible. They're just a thinner version of those fuzzy sticks you see at schools, and the fuzz comes off really easily. I've inhaled some of the fuzz while using the fume, so it does the exact opposite effect that it's supposed to do.
Bro, this thing seems horrible.
They also
And the fact that it's so expensive is even worse.
mentioned throughout a lot of ad reads is that the fume can be used as a fidget toy, and as a fidget toy, it's a bit mediocre. The barrel moves a little too fast for my liking, And because the adjuster is at the bottom, it means you can't do a full rotation without stopping. It makes it less satisfying to use. It is easier to do with both hands, but it's just a little too quick for me. It feels like they just noticed how often the barrel spins and decided to market it as a feature rather than a design kink. But this 30-day journey tracker is interesting. It's used to help keep track of your progress while quitting, which at the end, you get a special reward if you send a picture of yourself completing the challenge. Now, I don't really want to wait a whole month, but I do like free gifts. So... Okay, while I'm recording the voiceover for this, I haven't sent in the photos in just yet, so I'm just gonna guess it's probably gonna be free flavor cores. I'll double check while editing. Here's the image right now if I got one. But speaking of those flavor cores, there are about 9 flavors that Fume offers.
Bro got a 15% off? They couldn't even give him anything worthwhile.
Those being orange vanilla, raspberry lemon, white cranberry, cinnamon hearts, sparkling grapefruit, black licorice, maple pepper, crisp mint, and the spearmint ice. All the flavors are trying to replicate an existing nicotine product, with most trying to resemble fruity vape flavors, with some of the latter ones, however, trying to recreate traditional tobacco and menthol cigarettes. They come in these tiny resealable bags, which include 3 cores in them, costing about $10 per bag, which is meh. On the back, it states that these flavors can last about 3 days before fading away, so each bag can at least last for 9 days. And comparing to something like cigarettes, which keep going up in price, and some people can smoke an entire pack per day, it's definitely a better price compared to that. But the flavor cores are just not worth $10. I can see how someone who vapes can be turned off by that price, with something like a geek only costing $16. Now, sure,
Exactly.
they are made out of essential oils, and they don't have any deadly chemicals that vapes and cigarettes have, like nicotine, benzene, formaldehyde, cadmium, crolion, carbon monoxide, ammonia,
Cadmium?
propylene glycol. But I do think they should cost around $5 to $6, maybe $7 at the most. I would say it's very much a razor blade situation here, if it wasn't for the fact that the actual fume almost cost $70, and that's just for the Pronamint model. The Solana model is almost $100.
Exactly.
These models are not worth their price tag. This does not look like a product that should cost almost $100. And actually having it in my
That's what I'm
hands,
fucking saying, bro.
I think for at least the Pronamint model, it should be around $30 to $40. I think that's a way fair price.
I'm sorry, but can this man please learn how to say the word prominent? It's been bugging me this whole time.
$70, but they do have the base, which magnetically connects to the fume, so it has a nice little stand to place it on. It's a bit smaller than I was expecting, and it's a little tricky to use with the fume itself. You have to position it just right, or it can knock off really easily. But it's a great stand for nail clippers, and it's quite heavy and well made. It's actually a pretty neat accessory. Is it almost $30 neat? No, but it's still pretty neat. Let's cut to the chase already. How's the actual experience inhaling the flavor cores? This is Fume. Let's go. Okay, I just want to give a disclaimer before I go on a huge rant about these flavors. As a reminder, I do not smoke, so I am not used to inhaling strong flavors. So please take this next section with an ounce of tobacco and know that I'm a novice reviewing these flavors as I taste them while they're inhaling, because oh my gosh, this was intense! Yeah, when opening a new pack, the cores are just covered in essential oils, which I understand is to make sure they last longer, but it doesn't help with oils like mint and peppermint get on your skin.
I
don't like how it's just bright red. Oh, it burns my skin. Oh, fuck. It probably wasn't the wisest decision to pick oils that could give a burning sensation to some people's skin, but because of that, it also burns the tip of your lip and tongue when inhaling a fresh core, which is not the most pleasant experience. Now, as for the actual taste of each flavor, well, this is definitely a flavor lineup, I'll say. The crisp mint lives up to its name because the mint was rampant throughout my whole mouth. It reminded me of doTERRA's Deep Blue Lotion when I first tried it out.
really want to try this, but like, if they're gonna get me to try it, they need to significantly lower the price for this stuff. Because there's no way it should cost this much. They're doing tobacco tax, but without being tobacco. Like, what do you... What? How?
The flavor that burns the most, it gets more tolerable the longer you use it for, but it's such an intense flavor with a very, very, very strong after breath. The sparkling grapefruit was like inhaling air from a nail salon or department store with the aroma of perfume and makeup. For being made out of essential oils, it tasted the most artificial. I don't know why, of all the candies available to pick, why would you make one out of the most divisive one out of them all? Like normal black licorice.
I fucking love black licorice, so I would love this. I didn't even know this flavor existed.
Kill this man. Come on. Why does it look like the packaging? I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I will say, it's not the worst one. Oh, no, never mind. Like, out of all the candies to make, why would you do black licorice? There's probably a reason for it. I look it up in editing, but like, damn, that's not good. The cinnamon hearts gave the essence of Christmas, probably due to having peppermint inside of it, but the cinnamon had some real spice to it, and combine that with the lip burning, it was not the most fun feeling to have in my mouth. The orange vanilla was actually pretty decent, at least compared to the previous flavors. It has a nice zesty orange peel flavor to it. Better than the mint, I'll give it that. It's more just orange with like a slight vanilla-ness. Like it's orange. They could have just called it orange and it would have been fine. But it has a really bloating aftertaste that led me to start coughing a few times. When I found out there was a raspberry lemon flavor, I got flashbacks to another Airways product. So I wasn't the most pumped to try this one out. It looks like a pool noodle. Now it is better than the Air Up flavor, but still a bit intolerable. There's only a hint of lemon towards the back of your tongue, with the raspberry being a little too spicy towards the roof of your mouth, which gives a really unpleasant experience while inhaling, which did not lead to a really good first impression. Why would you make essential oils the
What the hell is going on?
I'm gonna oh, it burns my skin. It's all like fucking skin, man. Fuck, I gotta get someone to wipe it down. Oh, fuck. The best flavor cores were the maple pepper and the white cranberry. I still wouldn't call them great, but they were definitely more tolerable than the rest. The white cranberry has a really nice sweetness to it, but it does have a dry berry aftertaste that sours the longer you use it. And the maple pepper starts off with a strong burnt wood flavor, which can be a bit overbearing. However, it does smooth out very nicely with a pretty sweet flavor. But for some reason, when I inhale this flavor, it reminds me of a public pool. That's probably just a me thing, but it's important to note. The final flavor is the spearmint ice, which I thought was better than the crisp mint, but I do think it was not warranted that there should be 2 mint flavors. This one has a stronger aftertaste than this, so I guess it's technically worse. But they're so f***ing similar, man. They burn your f***ing mouth and lungs. Oh, God. We're done. We're f***ing done with this shit. I will say, on a positive light, I think all the flavors inhale better when the strength begins to weaken over time, with something like the mint flavors becoming way more bearable. And for me at least, the flavor course lasted closer to 4 days rather than the 3 labeled in the packaging. Still not a great flavor lineup, but one that's slightly more tolerable. Slightly. Now, there's a whole online debate about the health risks of inhaling essential oils. One concern being people getting negative reactions from certain oils, with even Fume themselves saying how some oils could possibly not be the safest for certain types of people. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this conversation. I don't think I have the right qualifications for that. But I will say, based off my personal experience with the Fume, wow, these oils just go for your entire body. Oh, my lungs. Oh, my lungs hurt. It goes for your, like, your chest. I thought it was just gonna be like going for your mouth, but like, it goes for your whole chest, man. I could feel flavors like the black licorice and the sparkling grapefruit just linger in my lungs for a little bit. And when I first tried out the crisp mint, I could just feel it in my ears. Oh, it's in my ears! Oh, you just feel mint in my ears! Holy shit, that's strong! Like every part of my head just became mint. It goes in your ears. I was not expecting it to go inside your ears, man. What the fuck? Even after a few days and the flavors decreasing in intensity, after inhaling for a few minutes, I started to become a little bit more lightheaded. I don't know if that was the fumes fault or just not me exhaling correctly, but it did feel a little bit nauseous after a point. Not to a point that made me ill, but it did make me a little exhausted. Now, I'm not saying fume will make you automatically go sick. This is just my experience with it, or that essential oils are bad for everybody to inhale. There's just not enough research on the subject yet, or that it's even worse than smoking real nicotine products. I would bet 100% that inhaling essential oils is much better than inhaling whatever I can't even pronounce that correctly. What the heck? But if you know or are very nervous about the safety of your lungs,
What, you don't fuck with propylene glycol?
Flavors, in fact,
The same shit that's in lavatory systems in airplanes that you put in your vape to, you know, make vapor. You don't fuck with that? I bet y'all didn't know that. That shit that you piss and shit on a plane, the liquid, like the blue liquid that's in it, that's the same type of liquid that's in your vapes. That fucked me up when I learned that shit.
Now, I don't think Fume is a good product. However, I feel a little dishonest reviewing it. As someone who doesn't smoke, I don't know anything about the culture of nicotine products, so I'm not really the target audience. So I decided to ask some real smokers I know for their opinion, and I was actually a little shocked on what they said. Most people who tried it out said it was a pretty alright attempt at a vape replacement. Most people said it did a really good job at satisfying the physical action of hitting a vape, and apparently it does a really good job at recreating the burning sensation in your throat. But the most common complaint was surprisingly the lack of vapor or smoke. Apparently, that's actually a big reason why people like the vape, seeing that big puff of smoke coming out. So people who like that, they said it was a little bit jarring not seeing it. But a few people who tried it out said they would actually consider it as an option if they ever wanted to quit smoking. And
If they ever wanted to.
opinions, there were a lot of people who were able to quit because of Fume. But the census online is that this is a product that will not magically make someone quit, like how some ad reads will sometimes describe it as. It's more of a tool to help through a difficult path of quitting.
Like, can you make O-rings when you exhale with fume? I don't think so, because there's no vapor. No, I'm kidding. I'm trolling.
Most of the energy has to come from the user itself, not the fume. The fume itself is just there for the physical action of hitting a vape or cigarette. So in short, this is not a product that's going to make you quit. This is a product that could help if you want to quit. If anybody's watching this who struggles with nicotine addiction and you think the fume is the best way to finally stop, by all means, go ahead. Your health is more important than my silly complaints.
It looks like a float!
Just know that you're probably paying more for the marketing than the fume itself, and the flavors are not that good. Honestly, if you don't really care about the flavors and just need something physical to suck on, the fume itself, without the cores, works pretty well, which says a lot about how good the flavors are. Fume is not a great product, but it does work for some people, and it is nowhere near as bad as real cigarettes or vapes.
Holy shit! That was way worse than the fume!
Now, would I recommend fume to people in the general public who do not smoke cigarettes or vape? No! Yeah, besides
No, absolutely not.
quit, this is a product you should not buy. Every item should be at least 40% cheaper. Most of the flavors are just flat out bad, and the possibility of health issues from inhaling essential oils is just not really worth it. Even the people who I asked who liked it said it was just not worth the price tag. If it wasn't for the people actually being able to use this to ditch smoking and vaping, there's a chance I would put this right below Air Up, but I would say the lowest D tier, on the border of D tier. A product that could work for some.
Wait.
The rest is just.
What is this list, bro? For people who like protein powder and eating protein foods a lot, Magic Spoon is great. I don't care what you say, Magic Spoon. I tried it from Costco. That shit is so good. That's such a good cereal. And it's good for you. It's just great. Factor, I've been sponsored by them a lot. Which, you know, doesn't have anything to do with what I'm about to say. Could I have made that any less convincing? Anyways, no, I've used it a lot and I love their food. It's the the price is really high. But the food's good. It's easy to use. And Displate, I have no dog in that race. Personally.
Unnecessary and
I want to get a Displate at some point. Don't get me wrong. I really like those posters and the way they look. I just haven't had the time or money to get one.
I wasted $85 on the smoke machine, so I kind of want to get my money's worth.
You lousy smoking prick! You're trying to ruin this respectful community! You're quite literally a scumbag.
I'm sorry! It was a mistake! It was just for my YouTube channel!
Oh. So you're one of those domestic Minecraft YouTubers, huh? Like Will Bendover, Lion Cupcaker Studios, and Skydust beat his wife! I'm gonna send your butt to the nether realm, you creeper!
Anyway, that's going to be the end of this YouTube video. If you love this YouTube video, please hit the love button. I'm kidding. Hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Chat. What's up? Let's play some Need for Speed. Most Wanted. Most Wanted. Need for Speed Most Wanted. Need for Speed. A Need for Sped. You know? Know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Make sure puts in the passenger seat. Please don't get started with me. Please don't get started with me. On again in my memory card in that bitch. Get drunk, something feeling fucking shit. Like 3.14159 this bitch. They always be fucking the kid. Fair enough, what are we calling shit? I'm not Dr. Doolittle. I'm not gonna say when I really did this. Bisexual. You were not a real man, you were a little boy, your mama didn't cut the umbilical. Yeah, they got off the belt and I'm hitting them. No different. You're time and lucid. Feel like a loose leaf. Jim, where you need someone to spot you. And that peaked in high school, said I am a legend like a came from Haro. Saw me on the net, cause I'm steady going viral. Remember my account was a negative, I wasn't praying to God, I was begging him. Hallelujah, cause he ended up blessing me. I'm dead and you. You're gonna have in a bar. You're outside. You really wanna die. Much, but I feel like I don't have enough. I'm gonna fail 99 times. At least at this time, yeah. Bro, what? This truck is so impossible to control. I happen to enjoy, having fun with all my friends. Why is it still raining? Really the end. Supposed to be happy and to put on a fake ass smile and pretend about what? My anxiety is with the roof. I'm hunting him down this time. Bro. And that's no great. Show me the person said. Why does it have track tires on? It's a truck. Hey moon, I said about the bone. Hey moon. You never fold. I said let it go. Leave me alone. I said it's home. Let's retry this shit now. That's much better. I wish I would have known sooner that all I had to do was re-customize the truck. This would have been way easier to win. Yeah, Lane, what about baby and I'm in the same? Do 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 do. That's broke. Down on Bubba the G. I just fucking shitted. Something in his body. Done. Alright, done. Alright. Almost guide. Do what I do. Pick up a G when nobody's on the move. All of my double brothers are alive. I don't know what the news. I bet. I'm finna get on his ass. Well, need him tag. Need him test. On my phone. Me alone one more time. You've gotta be shitting me. Gotta be kidding me. Oh, oh. Oh my, go fuck a kind of a phony. Sold me. Oh no, 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 no. Be so arrogant. Haha. With the right accurate aim. And KB is missing a piece of his brain. Back in Bravo.
Trying to make them pop if you talk to the D's, gotta make them drop. You call on my line, trying to tell me stop this life.
So who wanna walk? I don't leave a nigga where he sleep at. I will cape in space on the floor. Get to twitch, you thinking where he stay at. I don't lose, I play for the keeps. Double low, we'll beg it and weed. How the fuck you get robbed in a beat? Niggas be tracking that thing from the street. Good. I got the cheat code.
Am I farming aura?
Keep talking, but you never see those. Don't fuck with a kid, I ain't Neo. Jackie, he weapon on his T.O. Got a bad shit from Puerto Rico. Semi Valentino. Good. Wait, hold on, I'm out of crash. 2 deaths in a year, that's sad. You should've went home to your 2 loving dads. You lucky I ain't here for facts. If that was the case, I could've did him bad. Double up to his face and his back. I don't even think he would fit in a trap.
With the ready guy, accurate aim. Packed him, left his body on the scene. Man down, I got 10 more to split. Crazy? I bet. Fake Addy, why the hell are you lying? Shit! That heat blow. Just like a velo. Fight like a fucking warrior. I don't have that car. Ford's done. Lamborghini. Second Lamborghini. Sadly, he passed when he fell off the train. I gotta win this race with the Lamborghini Gelato. The Gelato. Bro, going from a Ford Raptor to this is insane. Me hopping these beats and shit every time, bro. Like, what's up, bro? With a bro in by some time. Never got robbed and never got smacked by G and G, I'm ready to compete. Double okay. Bro, I gotta get to 150? That's insane! $150 average is fucking crazy when there's vans pulling out of nowhere.
Too many niggas I just wanna diss, they all up on my body, nigga eat a dick. But less so facts, all of my niggas are lives and nobody ever did shit. Extended the clip, back so long, I walk with a limp, shit look like a dick. Please not run, I'm tryna take a picture, got PTSD, I'll show a different flip. Walk in the spot, niggas know I'm the whole, if you get a little obby, I'ma have to throw it. They crazy, on my own. D don't call my phone, I'm tryna make a pack, I'll hit you when I'm home. Only if the D's not up on my hip, I might have to throw the weapon in the whip, but I get it back. Up to the drop and get home, see if I gotta make another trip. I hit up John, I said, bro, what's the vibes? He said nothing, I'm chilling inside. I told him to be outside in an all black fit. We gotta make a nigga die. He said, bet I'ma pick him my 9. I said, bet I'ma beat it in 5. I slept to the block, he looking serious. I guess that he tryna send him to the sky. I guess that he wanna see that boy the mob. I guess that he wanna see his mama cry. Since he double okay, we slide to his crib. I promise I know I'll make it out alive. Over the G, I ain't going for nothing. You gotta be dumb if you think that I'm bluffing. Since you wanna play over my body, Paul's gonna hit him.
Oh, okay. That went perfectly. How could you want to go? On the ground. On the ground.
Niggas know what we into. How many shots that I send through? I catch an object and double okay. I'ma pop him like a pimple. Too many niggas I just wanna diss. They all up on my body, nigga eat a dick. But less so facts. All of my niggas alive and nobody ever did shit. Extended the clip. Back so long, I walk with a limp. Shit look like a dick.
I don't think you be catching this Lambo, bro. I'm alive and nobody ever did shit. Oof, oof. TSD will show different flick. Hey, over the G, hey. Boom. Try what you trying to get me. Let me know. Tell me now. I need to be good. Ready for you. For you. Keep me back up and fuck what's kind. Ready for you. For you. You promised me. What did you get me? I gotta be blind. Cameron's no better than she. What do you like? I think it's nice. Even the back of a fucker's time. Oh, you.
what you want, no, all them past niggas played over your heart. We been showing support from the start, and I don't wanna hurt you and tear it apart. Stay up late talking about our future and how we not gon' pay no mind to computers. Yeah, the media do not amuse us. See how you do y'all, we do us. Yeah, my baby not into that dumb shit. Won't catch that shit, get ass and I function. When she tell me she proud, yeah, I love it. I be getting butterflies all on my stomach. And with you, I feel a different vibe. It's like I fell in love when I saw her eye. I don't wanna be rushing that time, but I cannot wait to marry what is mine. And I know that we still hella young, and that trapped out just not begun. But I wanna know how you feeling. Am I a good boyfriend? Are you having fun? Just by being with me. 3 of us, you and me and my G. You forever gonna be my black queen. You cannot spell my name without a J-E. Got me hints on my
Government song. It don't matter.
I wanna be with you right to the end. I promise, baby girl, my love will never shatter. If you ever feel away by how I'm treating you, speak with your voice, so baby, don't get sadder. Make the adjustments I pass, take it dead. And if one of them did that, I'ma do it faster. So my love will give you what you want. I know all the past niggas played over your heart. You've been showing support from the start, and I don't wanna hurt you.
How did I throw so hard at the end? That was the craziest throw ever, bro. You can answer the function. Energy and I said when you verse. Right. What the fuck just happened? What the f- What was that? I didn't even hit anything. I didn't even hit anything, bro. What was that? What if I got into this civilian? Enemy dissing him a lot. Doop, doop, doop. Ga 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 ga. I just escaped the police backwards. What the fuck? Hello? What the fuck what is this? Whoa! They've turned into a unicycle. They're revolving. Ah, shit. Fuck off! Get off me! Bro, it's hard to see at night. Holy. Chat, you think I'm escaping them in 2.5 minutes? I'm almost there. Never mind. I had no other option there. Okay, what the fuck? That's fucked up. That's fucked up. And you haven't sent. How do they know where I am? There's no helicopter. Well, I got silver. Now it's time to go back and do it again for gold.
Baby, come here, let me see what you do. Get for the back, watch her dribble the broom. I'm double low, but I get up in tune. If I see I better shoot my. If I see I better shoot my. Not like, oh, I better flop. Like, no, don't give a fuck about the cops. If I see gun, they gotta drop. My girl acting funny, she got me on block. Fuck it, I'ma go fuck on the dot. Yes, I got a strap, so you better watch. Get for the back and watch that pussy pop. Damn, now she gon' give me the drop. Looking for the opposite and flick what they block. Yes, fuck it, I was smoking his pops. Yo, he gonna. Why you didn't flop? Like, damn, bro, can't feel me cry. Like, bro, when they fuck my mom, feel that shit, that nigga try to. He feel that shit, that nigga try to fly. Racks, please stop, this my God. When you pop, go pick up a nine. Look good, baby, bro, never get no fucking hit. I ain't gon' lie, but you talking your shit. Better come back, and niggas better flip. My mom told me to chill, but I'm trying to do a hit. Don't give a fuck why I die, just gotta be rich. Fuck my pops, that nigga made me. Fuck my pops, that nigga made me sick.
We make movies, y'all make clips, y'all make advertisements for our scenes. Call up Zay, Woody my demon. I know he throwing like he Derek G. Hit up my vendor, he saw me CC's, eating so good it feel like EBT. Oh, so I'm next, people on music, we finna blow up like some TNT.
Nah, I'm mad. So they figure they mouth ain't dead. I'ma give me the fuck, I be ready to crash. Yo, Joe got the D for my ass.
They dancing on Bobby, you know that shit metal. Dumping the clip on the hard like it's metal. We speaking that P, but it's back to the fact. Bitch, I bump with the G, who really on my level. Pop with that V, all black ski. Like niggas know I'm a usual geek. I stay with a G when I walk up on feet. I'm a double O trooper.
Easy.
Shout out to Yoga, that's really my buzzing. Shoot back on my head in case I got a double. Pull up the scooter, got hit in his stomach. Niggas fell and body is gushing. All for me shaking the room. Shot like no one fuck about no. Better watch. Get from the back and watch that pussy pop. Damn, now she gon' give me the drop. Looking for the opposite and flip what they block. Yes, fuck it, I was smoking his pops. Yo, he gonna. Why you didn't flop? Moving out of line, acting hella bad, bro. I know I've been acting like an asshole. I know sometimes I take it too together for you do me part. And I hate that you always bottle your emotions. Not gonna make progress if you do not show it. Like a bro, you always keep me going. I can tell when you do, cause I already know it. We have an argument, you make the call. Then you avoided me all day long. I hit your phone to ask you how you feel. You said I'm good, baby, nothing is wrong. It's okay, my love, I know I hurt you. Sometimes I feel like I do not deserve you. Also, your feelings kicked into the curb, and I look at it back knowing that I was hurtful. To your heart, can't believe I'm tearing you apart. You don't want to bring lights in my dark, and I'm fucking it up, taking away your spark. Oh my God, why the hell you choose me? Like what? Why am I the one? Definitely can't be a good boyfriend if I can't.
And be a good son.
I know I'll be close to you. I said that it was a mistake, but I cannot keep causing hella commotion, cause then I'ma run you away. And I don't do that. Get it all together, change how I act. Cause if I put you second, you putting me last. Actually proving I sit here and rap. Moving out of line, acting hella bad, bro. I know I've been acting like an asshole. I know sometimes I take it too far. But get it together for you do me part. And I hate that you always bottle your emotions. Not gonna make progress if you do not show it. Like a bro, you always keep me going. I can tell when you down cause I already know it. I took your feelings, threw it in the trash. You was my vehicle, I made you crash. Wanna make up for shit I didn't pass. If you on my time, making sure you glad. I know sometimes I be killing the vibe. You the one who comfort me when I cry. Treating you right, making up for missed time. I don't know what I have till you woke up my life. Blowing my phone just
I noticed it. Don't wanna get fucked up. Feel out of my secrets, I like it.
I wanna show that I'm feeling remorseful. I try to pay you, gon' watch you perform.
Need it, but it's not. I can taste you need it. Yeah, I hear it. But still. For real. What do I do? What do I know what I'm dealing with? How you make me feel? I like a low blow to the head. I'm just gonna be real. I'm gonna say fuck it and go and pop me a pill. Do my best before you to leave. I know you're losing, but why is it me? You love me, give me a soul to keep. And that's yours to keep. Just like every single night. Never just leave me on side. Love to see you try. Granted, I was starstruck. You was, so I don't give a fuck. Give me love. I'ma just see me out. Wherever I go. You no rush, but it's hard to feel it from it. You go. You be my happiness to me. You're the only reason that I go. I mean, so it's okay if you leave me on my own. On my own. If you leave me alone, I don't know what I would do if I could never see you again. I don't know what How in the hell did I miss that checkpoint? There's no way. They just didn't want me to take that damn shortcut. They were like, that's not part of the race. Now you missed a checkpoint. Because that wasn't part of the race. You were just smarter than us. And we don't like when you're smarter than us. So, get fucked. You missed the checkpoint. No one's smarter than us. Us being the people who made the game. No one can be smarter than us. We know exactly what we're doing. Really? Really? Really now? Is that so? That was bullshit. I still won. Good luck, everybody else. This was made for us. You think they made it, bro? I just got my car. What the hell was that? Late night in the stew. Look at him cuddling you. Look at him cuddling you. What the fuck I would do? He's kind of the blue. Captors do what I do. Yeah, what am I going to do? Really well, and then he go do what he do. And this is all you do. That's all well. Yeah, they can, but what the fuck you do? How the fuck is that bothering you? It's bothering you. If you broke, go get some money. We drove to church, we're trying to hit the bank up on Sunday. And that, don't miss out on free money. They're pretty funny. You know, I don't need to pop no honey. It's Sunday morning. They're pretty corny. All on a dick riding. I don't know.
This ahead, you gon' die. I promise you not gon' survive. Don't never be low for no creep up behind. The Glock got some nigga wash his shit. I take off the mask, cause I want him to know that it's me. The double time and I go on a hunt, never needed a call, I'm a trooper on feet. Wait, walk down King on the street. It get kinda dark, so I turn on the beat. You never been tight, need to let off some steam. I let off my angle when flicking his G. Bet, we got the drop where they sleep. Niggas know I'm spinning, no need for a ski. I kick down the door, my weapon is drum. No need for no more, that boy resting in peace. I look in the mirror right after the drill. I'm like, Bubba, nigga, you for real. I don't feel like a human.
That's what this car gets for being yellow. Fuck yellow, bro. I'd be the next one to get poked. I'd be the next one to get back. That Instagram comments turned into a joke. But everybody led to smoke. Forget this tone of poke. It's reoccurring. Yeah, I promise you're not gonna survive. Knocking Brothers? What are the brothers doing? Sorry, that's not funny. That's a bad joke. Ah! I missed my turn. Oh my gosh. Say you're gonna put him in blue. You don't tell me the truth. It's the same way that I'd be riding for you. I'm gonna look like a clown.
Walk in the spot, don't show no page, you know I got this little shit on me. Stuff a shoebox in the attic, we having more than your bit home. These niggas be broke, we like filet mignon. These niggas fried bologna. Your whore a freak, whenever she get caught up for net, you know she throw it. And we don't do shit on the net. Hell nah, this shit ain't Sony. And please don't try to tip my phone about that bitch, you know she going. And I'm a pussy, $5 down the house. wait here, now I ain't slowing. I probably go AP. If you look down at his wrist, that bitch be snoring. Ain't here, now I ain't doing alright to get in the booth and get the going. Stop that boys up in this bitch, they say we hard already knowing. And I might fuck your hoe to sleep, put her to bed, she keep on snoring. Stop that boy, got the shit on lock, I'm with the bros, you already knowing. Call the mall, he work that bitch, he in the back, they keep on blowing. Been having rest since I was 16, ain't got a pop, this shit just showing. Money problems, we ain't happy. Niggas dumb in here, he say we broke, that nigga GB yapping. Mix these bills up in my team, nigga probably think we trapping. Lil' bro keep on trying to show his split, that young nigga all by damage. Call a boy, he work that bitch and keep on tapping, this shit get trash. Her pussy wet, I like that shit, she keep on scoring, this shit like magic. I'm in the booth, spin hot shit you can't contain, this ain't ceramic. Call her he work that bitch, he keep on blowing just like he fanning. I'm walking the big B22, these ain't no motherfucking champions. And my little partner get fly, fuck on Willa, break, he throwing lamb. Fuck you at me for some pay, you better go and ask your man, smoke your hoe out, she in the spot, listen unreleased, that hoe just jamming. Old hoe, see we popping it, and that dumb ass hoe can't stand it.
It's in a drop. Aim at the top. Bitch. Hello, bitch.
What the fuck? Got me mad sauce with my dolly. Yeah, I believe like to know. Like, get a course, got me feeling like coke. In a way that I ooh you with kids to old. It was running like it was friends. Like, all black, we gon' pop up out the rent. Like, fast shots in this film, we gon' lose a mess. You gotta go with the book, cause it's fun to make. Say they just a bucket, I give it a knee up, and that's why we gon' clean the facility. Like, they say shots you hot, they feel it. I cannot be lost, so just hop with the fool. Like, try to test me, I'm taking this shit. I'm up in the air, and we gonna hit good. Like, they say y'all wake 'em up. Bad, me and the boo won't shoot the shit. Like, oh, he not like a threat. Back, I get some hollows and dribble his neck. Like, why he dissing like I ain't the pep? Cause in the club, I can't run up a track. Like, got me telling I'm over my element. Shots, we gon' shoot up they red. Like, how about he got hit like the president? No JFK gotta clean up that evidence.
Smoke element. Element. Macaca. And indeed, oh, she's a gold digger, way over time. That you need. Damn me fat. After from damn it, that I was rich. Tell me you give it like a trick. I'm gonna put in a mix. Tell me you really got tricked. Wait, I'm gonna put in a mix.
It's Jacob, by the way.
Is that embodiment?
Dula. Dula. Going up. He is different. He is different. And your assistants.
a little throw a shot at their face. Keep it 40 out open in traffic. Start the town, you know I get tracked. Little bomb with a launch, she'll do it like
Fuck!
They gon' do it, send them up to a Paxton. I've been taking a break, I've been chilling. Hollers to them, they he going missing. Stop with the giant, I'm not with the dissing. You talking the out, you mean the sniffing. Since a youngin', I knew I was different. Always been on my own, I don't need no assist. Why you running my orders? They missing this seal on my waist, better duck when I'm clicking. Hit a lick when I play, they side. Google daddies don't pick up the high. Telling shorty to make up her mind. Cause the ops on it down and we ain't no time. It's just how we come up while they sleeping. I don't know what the hollers I'm feeding. Do the dash in the car, now I'm speeding. Got the drop on the eye, head tap, body drop, now he leaking. Tap the O, we gon' spin where he sleeping. Hollers just from the bus when we see him. I spin this block every day to the weekend. Keep it 40 out open in traffic. Start the town, you know I get tracked. Little bomb with a launch, she'll do it like Matt. And this 40 gon' do it, send them up to a Paxton. I've been taking a break, I've been chilling. Hollers to them, they he going missing. Stop with the giant, I'm not with the dissing. You talking the out.
Fuck! Why did that van have to be there? It's still in my head about. I know.
Big double O shit.
Wake it now. What you doing now?
Look at my face. You ain't never see a nigga break. Like, look at the shit on my plate. I wonder what God gon' do to my fate. Do I gotta cope with niggas every day to make it to the heaven gates? I'ma just tell you the truth. I do not wanna be here. So God, if I leave right now, can I settle with you? Can I sit purple to get through the pain? I'ma do it every single day. Or I'ma run without a trace. Crash out the fuck in my face. Get out my head, tell them go away. I cannot do this today. I'ma just back out the toolie today.
Too many damn cars around here, bro.
I never shut me a tear. I told my grandma that shit wasn't fair. Number one, Rozzy, you got a kid. Ain't nobody getting you there but you. I gotta sit in that booth. Talk about all of the shit I've been through. Temporary loss, temporary pain. I cannot settle for change. I'ma just get out the way. I cannot get out this game. You say you love me, but that is a lie. Don't ever call me a man. If you never want to leave, you build my son.
Baby, I cannot die. All of these stores and they clown my mom. Like, if we together, you wasting my time. Like, gotta clutch on the dime, cause I know some people who want me to die. I'm big on emotion, she big on devotion. Together we sound like Bonnie and Clyde. Like, would you hold it down for me? You the one who gon' stick up around for me. Homie close on the media, try down to me. You the girl who gon' up on the times for me. Damn, but I'm doing the most, cause I ask for loyalty, I'm losing hope. I put your phone and I'm hearing the tone, so I'm sending texts and you went ghost. Now I'm stolen to
I'm gonna crash out.
Look at my face. You ain't never see a nigga break. Like, look at the shit on my plate. I wonder what God gon' do to my fate. Do I gotta cope with niggas every day to make it to the heaven gates? I'ma just tell you the truth. I do not wanna be here. So God, if I leave right now, can I settle with you? Can I sit purple to get through the pain? I'ma do it every single day. Or I'ma run without a trace. Crash out the fuck in my face. Get out my head, tell them go away. I cannot do this today. I'ma just back out the 2020.
Wake it up. Woo! Waking up. Waking up. What are you doing now? I'm almost to the next race, chat. Ah, no, it's not a race. Oh, no. Oh, wait, it is. It's a circuit race. I thought it was going to be one of those police chases. For a second, I thought that said 4 laps. I was like, are you serious? Shwert! 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 Where did you come from? Where did you come from? What the fuck? Where did you guys come from? What is this bullshit? Nah. He was never outside for real. Take one of us and then go on a drill. Little dummy got back on a pill. It's in the sunny weather. Go, 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 go! Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. All I had to do was get back on the road. Turn that shit up. Walk with top the stick. Every movie keep going up, so I pay me my flowers, I pay my respect. I sent Papa from the deli. Hell of over. I don't know how to. Thank God my car is not yellow anymore. What can we throw up the shit? How? I didn't even run into the wall that hard. Like, if anything, I hit those cars harder than I did that wall. Turn that shit off. Dun, dun, dun. That's the worst place to put a fucking checkpoint, bro. Bro, I was 21 miles per hour over the thing that I needed to reach. You feeling? Feeling. What do I know in the range? Alright, I finished the LFA. The LFA is done. And that's gonna be the stream. The stream is done too now. I gotta go to work in like 30 minutes. I'm going to be uploading some YouTube videos. So keep an eye out on both of my YouTube channels for that. I will maybe see y'all tomorrow. Bye. Have a nice night.